Welcome to Extension and DID Reports. Cloudspire Voice provides 3 resource-level reports under PBX Management Reports: Extension Activity, DID Utilization, and Recording Coverage. While the call reports we covered previously focus on aggregate traffic patterns, these 3 reports drill down to the individual resource level, showing you exactly how each extension and phone number is performing. Extension activity tracks per extension call counts and talk time. DID utilization shows inbound call volume per phone number with answer rates and peak hours. Recording coverage measures what percentage of your calls are being recorded and transcribed. Together, these reports help you understand resource utilization, identify underperforming numbers, and ensure recording compliance. Let's start by logging in. This is the Extension Activity Report. It shows every active extension in the tenant with their call metrics for the selected date range. The table has 8 columns: extension number, name, calls made, made duration, calls received, received duration, missed, and total. Calls made counts outbound and internal calls initiated by the extension. Calls received counts answered inbound calls routed to the extension, whether directly through a queue, hunt group, or IVR. Missed calls are highlighted in red when greater than 0, making it easy to spot extensions that are letting calls go unanswered. The total column sums made and received for an overall activity score. Results are sorted by total activity with the busiest extensions at the top. This report only shows extensions that had at least 1 call in the period. Inactive extensions are excluded to keep the view clean. The filter card at the top controls the date range: start, date, and end. Date defines the reporting window. The default is the last 30 days. Click Filter to apply your selections, or Reset to return to defaults. Above the table, a count shows how many extensions had activity in the period. The Export CSV button on the right downloads the full dataset, including all durations in seconds, perfect for building pivot tables in Excel or creating custom utilization charts. Use this report to identify your busiest extensions for capacity planning. Find extensions with high missed call counts that may need call forwarding or voicemail configured, and compare made versus received ratios to understand whether an extension is primarily inbound, outbound, or balanced. An extension with many calls made but few received might be an outbound sales rep, while one with many received but few made is likely a receptionist or support desk. Now let's look at DID utilization. Navigate to it from the reports dropdown. This report tracks inbound call volume per phone number. Every DID that received at least 1 call during the period gets its own row. The table shows 8 columns: DID number, total calls, answered, unanswered, answer rate, average duration, total duration, and peak hour. The answer rate is color-coded: green for 80% and above, yellow for 50 to 79, and red below 50. This immediately highlights numbers with answer problems. Unanswered counts are shown in red when greater than 0. The peak hour column identifies when each DID receives the most calls, useful for understanding traffic patterns on specific numbers. Results are sorted by total calls descending, so your busiest DIDs appear first. DIDs. The DII utilization report is particularly valuable for several operational decisions. First, capacity planning. If a single DID is receiving the majority of your inbound traffic, you may want to distribute calls across additional numbers or route through a queue. Second, identifying underutilized numbers. DIDs with very low call counts may be candidates for retirement, saving on monthly number costs. Third, answer rate analysis. A DID with a low answer rate may point to a routing problem. If calls to a specific number are going unanswered, check that DID's routing destination. It may be pointed at an extension that's frequently busy or offline, or an IVR with confusing options. The filter controls match extension activity: start date, end date, filter, reset, and export CSV. Above the table, a count shows how many DIDs had inbound traffic during the period. The third report is recording and transcript coverage. This one stands out because it includes summary cards at the top, 6 cards that give you an instant health check. Answered calls shows the total number of answered calls in the period. Recorded shows how many of those had a recording file. Recording percentage is the ratio, color-coded green for 80% and above, yellow for 50 to 79, red below 50. Transcribed shows how many recordings were processed by the AI transcription engine. Transcription percentage uses the same color coding, and recorded hours shows the total duration of all recordings. These cards tell you at a glance whether your recording configuration is working as expected. If you expect 100% recording coverage but see 60%, some extensions or DIDs may not have recording enabled. Check the DID settings and extension recording mode configuration. Below the summary cards, the filter bar adds a group by option that extension activity and DID utilization don't have. You can view data grouped by day, week, or month. The table then shows one row per period with 6 columns: the period label, answered calls, recorded count, recording percentage, transcribed count, and transcription percentage. Both percentage columns are color-coded using the same green, yellow, red thresholds. The day view is useful for spotting specific dates where recording dropped, maybe a system issue or a configuration change. The week view smooths out daily noise for trend analysis, and the month view gives you the long-term trajectory. Are you maintaining consistent recording coverage over time, or is it trending downward? If recording percentage drops on certain days, cross-reference with your call volume reports to see if those were high traffic days that overwhelm the recording system, or if specific extensions were making calls outside of recorded contexts. That covers the 3 extension and DID reports in the admin console. Here's a quick recap. Extension activity shows per extension call metrics, calls made, received, missed, and durations, so you can identify your busiest users and extensions that need attention. Did utilization tracks inbound call volume per phone number with answer rates and peak hours? Use it for capacity planning and to find underperforming or underutilized numbers. Recording coverage provides summary cards and time-grouped trend data showing recording and transcription percentages, essential for compliance monitoring and ensuring your recording configuration covers all the calls it should. All 3 reports support date range, filtering, and CSV export. Together with the call reports covered in our previous video, these 6 reports give you a complete picture of your PBX traffic, resource utilization, and recording compliance. Check the documentation link below for the complete reporting reference.